Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. And today it's the start of another month, so I'm here with the look back at what I played, what I did, whatever you want to call it, for January of 2024. This is where I kind of look back at the videos I produced and then reminisce about the new games that I played, kind of in countdown style from favorite to least favorite. And again, these are always subject to change as I play them more, because sometimes these are just a one-off game. And then, at the end of the month, I got to figure out where it lines up. But maybe 2 or 3 months down the line, I play it again, and it turns out to be one of my favorites. So just a quick first look at the new to me games that I've played in January of 2024. But before we start there, let's go ahead and look at what I played last month. Last month, I came back. I moved and didn't produce many videos that weren't already pre-recorded. Mostly reviews, a couple other little videos. So I came back, and at the beginning of the month, I recapped everything I played and did, and channel update, however you want to say it. I put out that video at the beginning of the month. And then, because it was the end of the year, I gave out some Golden Gizmo Awards. So if you're interested in the 5 games that I thought were, award worthy for my plays in the year or plays all time, go ahead and check out the Golden Gizmos video. And then I looked at the top 20 new to me games from last year. It's where I compile all these videos and figure out the games that kind of lasted through the year, and the top 20 at that time of recording I put out. And they're not the 2023 games, they're the new to me games from last year. Some of them are 2023 games, but some of them are much, much older. So if you haven't checked that out, please go ahead and do that. And then finally, my 4th video that I put out in January is my anticipated games from this year. And as I said in that video, that doesn't mean I'm going to buy them and play them or anything like that. It was just my quick, what's coming out this year that interests me in one way or another. So that way maybe you can check out something that might interest you as well if you share the same things or same likes as me. And you hadn't heard about some of those games coming, you can keep an eye out for them to come out this year. Because last year I put out that video and I think I only played 3 of my 10. So, it's just games that interest me, not necessarily games you'll see on this channel in a future date. Although it'd be nice if I could get my hands on all of them. So those were the videos I produced in January of 2024, just 4 of those. And let's go ahead and look at the games that I played in January 2024. First of all, let's recap with the stats. I played 13 total games. That's it, just 13 plays. So not even one every other day on average. 11 of them were unique games, so at least when I played a game, it was a different game. Only 2 games, or 2 times, was a game replayed in the month of January. And finally, there are 4 total new to me, as you probably guessed from the title of this video. Top 4 new to me games from 2023. The 4 games, and one of them's kind of a cheat because it's actually a game I played at the end of the day on the 31st of December, but because I already had wrapped up 2023 prior to then, I'm going to go ahead and roll it into January, and I rolled in the plays and everything. So basically this is my January 2024 games plus what I played on December 31st of 2023. And what a month of new plays it was. Well, I only played 4. They were all outstanding games. You will see that because my number 4 game is one of the most talked about games of late, and it's a good game. I enjoyed it, but not as much as the other 3 new to me games from the last month, and that is Earth, the last game I played in 2023 on New Year's Eve. I enjoyed it. I played it solo. I've yet to get this to the table with other folks, so maybe that could change the movement of it. It's got a decent solo mode. It's a decent play game. It's got a card tableau. You've got action selection. It's got a lot of things I like. You're collecting, resources to enable yourself to build that tableau and get the points and everything else you're going to do in Earth. It's got I haven't played with other people, but as you go around the move, everybody's going to take the action that is selected. So it's got a leader action and then follower action to a lesser extent. It has a lot of things in game I like, but it also has a lot of things in game I have other games that I enjoy those things in as well. And it felt, I wouldn't say bloated, but everything is a point. So nothing made you regret decisions or really get super crunchy with it. It's a decent introductory plus game, I would put, because of that reason. Everything you do will get you a point, more than likely. It does build engine. A lot of good things in Earth. Just didn't quite push over the threshold of me being like, yeah, this was one of my favorite games. And I've heard a lot of people talking on Earth like it is one of their favorite games and it could replace an Arc Nova and Wingspan and the like. Not for me, though. I enjoy those games more. I'll still pull out Earth from time to time. I really look forward to getting out with other people because of the action selection, where everybody's going to get the action if you can take it. Because again, if you're going to do an action that other players can't do, you might pick it just because of that reason, hoping that the action you actually want to take will be taken by somebody else. Just to take an additional action that nobody else is going to take, or not many people are going to take because they don't have the resources at the time. So I like that aspect of it. Looking forward to playing with people. Solo mode's decent, but there are other games that do the same thing or similar things that I just like more. The number 3 new to me game from January of 2024, I almost said 2023 there, is new to me game. This is what the list is. But it just arrived right at the beginning of the year. It just arrived on a lot of people's doorsteps. It's right here over my shoulder. Wonderland's War. This was a reprint of a game. So I got the reprint Kickstarter with the added expansion. I haven't played the added expansion yet. And again, this is a game I played solo. I have printed off, I believe, I don't think there's an official solo mode in it. I printed off one from Board Game Geek. I'll try to remember to link it below if you're interested. But I did play it, and it works pretty well. It just works with a deck of cards and the standard rules for the most part. And Wonderland's War is a game where it's built in 2 halves. First half is you're going around the board and getting things that you're going to use for the second half. And the second half is a war in the 5 different zones for superiority. And then at the end of the game, you're going to score based on bag building, collection, set collection, the points you've earned along the way, goals you've accomplished. The main bulk of it, a lot of bulk of it is going to be your war zone, what am I looking for there? Area control. There we go. You're going to get points on the areas you manage to control at the end of the game. Everything like that. It's based on Alice in Wonderland. Just a neat. I love the art. I love bag building, deck building, and those type of games. And this is just an enjoyable solo play. I really look forward to getting this with other players to the table, as is usually the case. This one of the things people talk about it a lot is it plays long. It did play a little long solo, but that was me learning how to play the game and learn how to play the solo mode. But I could see it taking a little bit of time as more and more players enter the field of battle, because those battles can go on and on as you're pulling things out of the bag and using them to move down the power track, basically. Fun game. I really liked Wonderland's War a lot. Number 2, new to me game from January 2024 is a game that's right over my shoulder. I'm going to try to pronounce it the best I can. Jiangnan, Life of Gentry. This is a game I hadn't really heard of. Somebody was able to pick it up at a really good price for me. I've got the Kickstarter upgraded deluxe version, whatever you want to call it. So I was able to get my hands on a game I never heard of, but once I read about it, I definitely was interested in it. It is an action selection game where you're going to have 4 action tiles in front of you, of which you're going to choose one and go to that specific place on the board. There are 6, I believe, different places on the board. And then when you go there, you're going to take the action specific to that place, whether it's collect resources or turn in goals, paintings. It's an art game, so you're either an artist or a dramatist or a writer, I believe. But you're turning in works of those art to get renown and build points. You're doing a little bit of area control on the little boats that move across the sections of the game will go on, and whoever owns the boat when it goes off, or has the most people on the boat, chooses the round scoring ability. So you're kind of fighting for control, so that way you can control where the points are going to be. You're collecting resources, I mentioned. You're turning in goals. You're upgrading through grabbing assistants and workers, or taking just those actions from them on the board. There's a lot of things you're doing. You can travel down the board for points and resources and actions. There's a lot going on. The gist of the game is you're going to pick an action. One of the 4 action tiles you have is going to be your action. You're going to discard the oldest one that's left on your board and get the resource for the discard, but then that action tile is out of the game. And then the other 2 are going to move down, and at the end of your turn, you're going to draw your next 2. And at the end of each round, you're going to actually go and buy from the board new action tiles that are going to be stronger and stronger as the game goes on. Now, they could be stronger actions, or they could be stronger in resources. And again, you're going to have that choice from every turn, which action you're going to select, and therefore which action is going to be gone for the rest of the game as a resource for you. It's a neat concept. It's got a lot of things I enjoy. Action selection, point salad to an extent. Everything has purpose. Again, like I said, there's, I think, 6 plays on the board. At best, you're going to have 4 actions to choose from, and some of those might be doubled up. So you might really want to do an action, but you got to hope you draw it out of the bag soon. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do that action. Or if you accidentally discarded the last one of that action, it's gone too until you can buy it back at the end of a round. I think it plays through 5 or 6 rounds, years, whatever you call it. Just a really neat, interesting, puzzly, thinky game that is right up my alley. I really enjoyed my play of this. Again, it was just a solo play, and that's true of all these. I didn't get many games to the table with other people, and when I did, they were games I already had owned and played and was more familiar with. But this has a really good solo mode too that is easy to play with. I really want to get this one back to the table as well. And finally, my number 1 game, and I almost put this as number 2 because I really liked my play of Jiangnan that much. But this game, it really is a good game. It's an anticipated game for me for a while, and I really enjoyed my couple of plays of it solo. It is Nucleum. It's a board and dice game where, again, it's action tile selection, so same concept, but this time you're not losing a tile because of the game makes you. You're losing a tile because you're using it to get more area control on the board, and every tile has up to 2 actions you're going to be able to generate for each round. I really like Nucleum. It's a little complex in the one part, which is the powering up your power or your cities on the board. That's a little complex, confusing to figure out, so hopefully I was doing it right in my plays. I think so. That's my one gripe with it. It's a really solid game where, again, action selection, there's multiple things you can do, multiple ways to get resources to build up your towns, your cities, which are going to help you generate points based on, the not area control, but the how many accolades you can get up. You can get further up the accolade track, and then multiply, a bigger goal. If you have one really strong round, you can get a 6-time multiplier for the one goal at the top and really focus that goal for the game. Or you could just get a bunch of rounds of medium accolades and just get some ×2, ×3, ×4 towards different goals and focus on those too. A lot of things are points in this game. It was a real fun game. I really like the coloration, not necessarily the art style. It's kind of basic. Here's blobs on the map where you're going to put down cities and stuff. Nothing outstanding. The cover art is great, and other than that, the art on the game itself is okay. But I really like the colors; they pop, and I don't know. I really enjoyed my play of Nucleum. It's a solo play, and that was my favorite play, but only by a hair, I think, over Jiangnan. And so, but all 4 games, like I mentioned before, outstanding games. Every one of these could have been a top game of a month, of a year, even potentially. I just happened to play them all right together now and had to really sweat out how I was going to rack and stack them here. But I think I got something I'm happy with. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, so that way you can keep coming back if you like my content. And lastly, comment below what you thought of the games I played. What are the games you played? What are the new games that I should be on the lookout for? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye.